some more online portals, and of course we'll start with 3news.com. Some of the stories you find on 3news.com this morning. Former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta to appear in U.S. court today over immigration case. To get the details, of course, also 313 buses were declared unserviceable and sold amongst cronies in October 2020. That's according to the Metromass Deputy MD, and it's in the Popular Today segment. Deputy Education Minister directs GES to take action on video of SHS students displaying charms. Deputy Education Minister directs GES to take action on video of SHS students displaying charms. Also, students allegedly withdraws 24,849 cedis from GCB bank ATMs using stolen cards. Students allegedly withdraws 24,849 cedis from GCB bank ATMs using stolen cards. Transport chaos, Accra National Cadet Corps steps in. Lawyer Martin People promises to defend apprehensive Ken Ofori-Atta. These are some of the stories you find on 3news.com. Some politics also on 3news.com. NPP flag bearer race. Elect someone who is not easily exposed to attacks from the NDC. That's according to a political historian. Also, resign by January 31 or we will strike. UTAG-UG demands of GTEC DG and his deputy. Resign by January 31 or we will strike. UTAG, University of Ghana, demands of GTech Director General and his deputy. Contractors on 73-kilometer Takrady Cape Coast Big Push project to begin mass demolition of temporary structures. You can also find that on 3news.com. Also, in the Western region, man arrested for allegedly stabbing woman in both eyes with scissors at Seshi Abrokofe. An unfortunate story there. So these are some of the stories you'd find on 3news.com. And of course, there is, as always, the cartoons and tilapia corner. Some interesting images you'd find there. From 3news.com, let's head straight to City Newsroom. And these are some of the stories captured on the website. Government to probe auction of 300 Metro Mass Transit buses. And on the top stories this morning on City Newsroom, Ofori-Atta to appear in U.S. court over immigration case today. At Dabraka gold robbery, 3 more suspects picked up in Ashaiman. GPRT to hold crunch meeting January 20 over commercial vehicle ID tax. Otumfo and Stu Dasibra Osebon to the third as Mampong Hene. NPP flag bearer raise. Aduchum's campaign mind-blowing. Victory assured. That's according to the spokesperson of the campaign. And GTech is undermining university autonomy. UTAG-UG. Transport Minister reject claims of non-performance. These are some of the stories you'd find on citynewsroom.com this morning. These two stories, they are running through 3news.com and City Newsroom. Let me read to you the detail of that story, and of course, we'll have a quick conversation on the back of that. And I'm talking about the headline, resign by January 31 or we will strike. UTAG-UG demands of GTEC DG and his deputy. The story on 3news.com is by Eric Mensah Ayite. And this is the story that the University Teachers Association of Ghana, the University of Ghana branch, UTAG-UG, has called on the Director General of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, Professor Ahmed Abdullahi Jinapo, and his deputy, Professor Augustine Oklu, to resign by the 31st of January 2026. According to the association, failure to heed their call will result in an industrial action. Let's have a conversation on this. Let's speak with Dr. Jerry Joe Harrison, his secretary of UTAG-UG. Doc, a very good morning to you. Thank you for making time to speak with us this early morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning. I'm very well, thank you.
Great. What is this we're hearing that you're asking, I mean, by you, I'm talking about UTAG-UG. You're asking the deputy DG of GTech, as well as the Director General himself, to resign. I'm talking about Professor Ahmed Abdullahi Jinapo and his Deputy Professor Augustine Oklu to resign by the 31st of January. Why?
Well, thank you very much, and good morning to all our listeners. I think that as we outlined in our statement, there have been just one too many incompetent actions taken by these people. Universities are choking under their unwarranted reach, and we feel that that is not a way to go. If you go to all the campuses, there is so much uncertainty, there is low morale, because these individuals continue to take decisions that we feel are outside the scope of what GTech was set up to do. And so, given what has happened and how things stand, I think their position has become untenable. That is why we are saying they should step down, because they are definitely leading GTech in the wrong direction.
If you say they are stepping out of their mandate, what exactly have they done?
Well, under the GTEC Act, GTEC is required to play several roles, including advisory and regulatory roles. What appears to be happening is that they are confused as to what advisory is and what regulatory role is. And so every now and then they engage in administrative overreach, and they are doing everything to manage universities in Ghana.
Doc, administrative overreach, do you have a few examples you can share with us? What have they done?
Certainly. So you not long ago, last year, GTech wrote a letter to the University of Cape Coast asking the Vice Chancellor to step aside for the Pro-Vice Chancellor to take over. That is completely out of line. GTech has no power, whether advisory or regulatory, to ask the Vice Chancellor of a university to step aside and for the Pro-Vice Chancellor, to take over. So that's one thing. I mean, secondly, recently GTech has been issuing instructions on post-retirement contracts, denying people of post-retirement contracts, and all that. All these are administrative overreaches. Councils of universities are set up by law. And if there is even a breach, as a regulator, what you do is that you draw their attention to the actions that they've taken and what laws it breaches, and then require them rectifying those. You don't write reversing those decisions. In governance terms, it is wrong and sends a wrong signal. Under no circumstance can GTech say that they are more competent at running universities than the councils that have been put in place by government with representation from GTech itself. And so these clearly are breaches of the law. They are an affront to academic freedom, which is enshrined in the 1992 Constitution. It undermines institutional autonomy, which is a cardinal requirement for driving the national agenda of this country. And if we allow these individuals to continue to be at the helm of affairs, things are going to get worse. And I'm afraid higher education institutions are going to be in trouble. But even worse still, the core mandate of GTech in promoting higher quality higher education has been completely abandoned. I'm not sure the last time you heard that GTech has secured, say, funding for infrastructure or for research or for something in any higher education institution. They keep chasing frivolities, and we think that that is not how the tertiary education space is supposed to be managed. And these, I am not even sure if the board of GTech actually agrees with many of these decisions that these individuals took. And so we have come to the point that, look, it is untenable for them to continue to be at the helm of affairs. Even worse still, even accreditation, which is one common. If you look at how accreditation has been handled, it's terrible. Look, under Ahmed Jinabo and Augustine Oklu, accreditation processes have become money-making tools. Institutions are paying so much money just to accredit programs. How how is accreditation a money-making tool? How should accreditation be money-making tool? And so you ask yourself, as a government-subvented institution, where does GTech expect institutions to find those monies and pay to them? And who do they account to? So we have taken the position that, given everything that is happening, they are not the right people, to lead. Their temperament are not good enough. Their relationship with managers of public education have been very adversarial and disrespectful sometimes. If you saw the letter that Amajinapo wrote to the University of Ghana, requesting that a decision taken by council be reversed or face serious regulatory sanctions. This was in connection with supposed 25% increase in school fees. As the regulator, all that you needed to do was to call the managers or management of University of Ghana and verify whether these media reports were accurate. But look, because they are always in adversarial mode, he wrote a letter based on this false reportage, requesting for University of Ghana to reverse a decision it has not taken. Now, in the end, it turned out to be a hoax, and he has not had the temperament or the decorum to even apologize to the council of the university and to management of the University of Ghana. This is definitely not how we expect the regulator to behave. And I don't think this is really what GTech is about. It is these individuals who are incompetent, first of all, and have lost their way in regulating and accrediting higher education institutions. They have to go.
Is this a relationship that is broken beyond repair?
It is absolutely broken beyond repair, because as a UTAG, we have engaged these individuals on many occasions on various aspects of these regulatory overreaches. But their posture has always been arrogance, insisting that they have the power to do whatever they are doing. But, I mean, they're not the only ones who can read, the law. There are other people who also are lawyers and understand these legal terminologies. And so many a time, when we point out to them that these powers that you are arrogating to yourself actually do not exist, because for as long as what you're doing impinges on academic freedom, the 1992 Constitution does not guarantee you that power. It doesn't matter, because something that is enshrined in the Constitution cannot be undone by an act of Parliament. That's not how the framers of the Constitution envisaged it. And so, in the exercise of judicial authority, capriciousness is not the way to go. But many times they've arrogated the power to themselves and acted in ways that have negatively affected the morale of all campuses. I mean, I can tell you, you just call, people in confidence, and they will tell you that nobody's happy with the way they are doing things. And so we, after having engaged them on many occasions,
right,
we have come to the conclusion that it is impossible for us to continue to work with them.
Doc, we'll leave it here, but we'd like to also say that we're trying to reach GTech as well, so that we can have their side of your story, or how they respond to these concerns that UTAG-UG is raising. Doc, before you leave, is this a position by UTAG-UG or the entire UTAG umbrella?
Well, I mean, we have taken the lead, but we know that everybody in UTAG is with us on this matter. I don't see how anybody in UTAG would not support this call, because in our engagement with them, we have done that as a unified UTAG body. We have done that as UTAG-UG, and 7 individuals who are UTAG members have been called to intervene in some of these decisions that have been taken that negatively affect people, and none of them has been heeded. So I have no doubt at all that all the campuses of UTAG are with us, and I'm sure that in due course others will issue statements in support of what we have done.
Doc, I'd like to thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I'm grateful for your time this morning.
Thank you, too.
Dr. Jerry Joe Harrison is Secretary of UTAG. Also saying this on Ghana Web. It says that don't vote for a candidate the NDC is campaigning for. As if you get a copy of the Observer newspaper. In just a few moments, we'll get into some of the details of the stories this morning. Connection with alleged immigration violations, and the court appearance follows his recent detention by the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And we're talking about ICE, which has indicated that Mr. Ofori-Atta overstayed his visitor visa and has consequently lost his legal status to remain in the country. Well, according to ICE, the former minister's visa was not merely expired, but was formally revoked by U.S. authorities in June 2025. And this position has been confirmed by Ghana's Deputy Attorney General Justice Remsai, who rejected earlier claims that the issue was a routine visa overstay. The Deputy Attorney General Justice Remsai has stated that the revocation of the visa means Mr. Ofori-Atta has effectively been living in the United States without a valid immigration. hearing is expected to provide greater clarity on his immigration status and any potential extradition proceedings. And of course, here on 3FM 92.7, we're bringing you all those details from what will happen in the United States today. In fact, we have our reporters, we have our correspondents there, and this is a subject of key national interest, and we will update you. In the meantime, lawyer Martin Kpebu has promised to defend apprehensive Ken Ofori-Atta. Lawyer Martin Kpebu has promised to defend Ken Ofori-Atta, and this is the story captured on 3news.com that a private legal practitioner law expert Martin Kpebu, known for human rights advocacy, he has elected himself to defend the rights of former Finance Minister Kenneth Nanaya Ofori-Atta. The former Finance Minister, who is perceived to have absconded, is expected to be extradited from the United States to Ghana to face prosecution of alleged corruption-related charges. However, Ghana's ambassador to the U.S., Victor Smith, disclosed on key points that he has been informed that Ken Ofori-Atta is apprehensive of how he would be treated upon his return to Ghana, hence his reluctance in an assertion which was corroborated by Kofi Bentil, who also was a panelist on the show. Well, in his reaction to the revelation, Martin Kpebu pledged to defend the rights of the former finance minister and ensure that he is giving the due justice as he has done for others. He recalled that some months ago when the state took on Kwame Bafo, aka Abronye, the MPP chairman for the Bono region, over his utterances and was maltreated. He and Daniel Domelevo, they stood up for him, though people were not happy. He was defending Abronye, who had insulted President Mahama and the IGP and all that. So Martin Kpebu says that he's ready to defend Ken Ofori-Atta and that he has nothing to fear. Ghana's ambassador to the United States, Victor Smith, he has also told us what family of Ken Ofori-Atta fear, that he may not be treated well, but he assured him that everybody will be treated according to the law. And Martin Kpebu has added another bit, that he has elected himself to defend Ken Ofori-Atta should he return to Ghana, to ensure that his rights are not abused in any way or form. Sixers don't hold us joining us. Sixers, good morning.
Crosby.
Why is your voice down? Why are you sounding like that?
You said Kpebu say what? The thing is fall, it's not erect.
Martin Kpebu says he will defend Ken Ofori-Atta, so he should not fear anything.
Well, he's a lawyer.
3FM,
yes, he's a human rights lawyer for that matter.
Not just because he's a human rights lawyer. Every lawyer is bound by oath to defend all manner of persons to the best of their ability.
Leave the thing alone. You can pull another microphone if you want. Okay.
No, it's not standing.
Pull another microphone.
No.
Okay. Oh goodness. You were talking about Martin Kpebu.
Yes. He's a lawyer and he's bound to represent persons, not necessarily because he believes the person or persons he's representing are innocent of the charges brought against them, but because he is supposed to ensure that no matter how guilty the person is or appears to be, due process is followed. The person gets his day in court. The case is not prejudiced. Justice is, as they say, manifestly seen to be done. And so it may come as a surprise or as news that Martin Kpebu, who has been screaming at the top of his voice from the mountaintop, where's Ken Ofori-Atta? Kisi Ejabe must go. He allowed Ken Ofori-Atta to bolt and all of those. Now he's suddenly turning around to say that he's willing to. I'm just trying to say that position is very understandable from a lawyer. it's not necessarily because he believes in the innocence or guilt of the former finance minister. It's because, as a lawyer, he's supposed to, it is his duty to also ensure that the thing called justice, that thing that everybody looks for, that in the quest of the republic to get justice from the former finance minister for members of the republic,
right,
due process is not sidestepped, and that the former finance minister is not prejudged even before he gets to have his day in court, and that finally he gets to have his day in court. So those are essential tenets of our criminal justice system that every lawyer is bound to defend. So I think we should understand the Leonard Martin Pebu in that context, so that we don't blow it out of proportion.
It's a big day in courts today in the United States. Of course, we'll be speaking with some experts on the matter, so we'll know the possible outcomes of an engagement like this, and then what impact it could have on anything. Already, we understand that these are very different things happening. Whatever is happening in the U.S. is exclusive of what is happening in Ghana, or the efforts Ghana is making to get him to come back into the country. Although,
I don't understand what you're saying.
So what I'm saying is that Ghana's extradition request or the extradition processes Ghana started with the U.S. is different from the challenges he's facing with his visa.
Oh, yes.
But the outcome of what is happening in the U.S. could play into the game of Ghana, such that if he's deported, then it means he will have to, well, unless he has other places to go, it means he may have to come home. And then the OSP and the Attorney General, of course, they'll be waiting at the airport.
Like America will say you are an illegal alien. So
I mean, he already is an illegal alien there.
No, they claim he is. That is why he's going to court.
I understand your point. Continue.
So they will say, okay, we don't want to go away from our country. Then he will get up and say he's going to Venezuela.
Yes.
No. Once they decide, make that decision,
they'll bring
deportation.
You.
It's called deportation.
They'll carry you and bring you.
They'll carry you in shackles.
Okay.
It's not a good picture to picture.
This Atoke Skyman Airbender, he says that today should have been declared a dry fasting day, 6 to 6. Somebody on Facebook, he says that Ghanaians should be fasting today, 6 to 6. Because Ken Ofori-Atta is going to court in the US today.
So the fast is for what?
It's for
him to lose.
That one, unless you ask him. Skybender, tell us, what's the purpose for the fast? What will be the purpose for the fast? Is it for Ken Ofori-Atta to lose, or for the US to win, or for... So yes, that is the latest concerning Ken Ofori-Atta, and then the happenings in the US. So
Ghanaians, well, as much as it's become the former finance minister case has become very personal for some Ghanaians. Very personal because they are direct sufferers of
his actions and inactions.
Decisions and indecisions and actions and inactions of the former appointee. We should also, be minded by due process that we may want to hang the man before we judge him, but it is important that he gets to be judged before he is hanged, so that we don't. What if they come and tell you that is it in the SML case, for instance, that he wasn't the one who authorized the thing? You see, so technically he may have won the case, but you have already crucified him in the public domain. That is why for all of us doing the public commentary on these matters, we have to be restrained, not be emotional, be very logical and reasonable with the commentaries that we make on these matters. Because as I think just 3 months ago, the law is the law was a favorite, the favorite rhyme of all Ghanaians. The law remains the law. So I'm not saying that he will be freed on technicalities, and I use the word freed advisedly. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that there is a certain process that every suspect and accused person must go through. And that process is controlled by the laws that you and I have agreed that they are our laws. We have agreed for them to govern us. It's not the learned Dominic Ayene or the learned Justice Remsai or the learned Chief Justice who will do anything. There's a certain process, there's a certain procedure, there's a certain code, all of which must be followed through, which actually is the reason you would hear somebody like Martin Pebu saying he will defend the rights of the suspects at this point. And okay, charges have been brought, right?
Yes.
They are accused. So
1, 2, 3, 78.
78. Not be small. So if they don't get you here, they'll get you there.
I think for
Hey.
For Skyman Airbender, this is what Skyman Airbender. There's a song. It's called Not Today. So that is what Ofori-Atta and Ghanaians and USIs and everybody. That is what they are expecting.
That's the song you are all singing.
That's what they are.
Today,
singing.
not today.
Not today. Ofori-Atta, and then what is happening in the United States today. But tomorrow too would follow up on the case of Sedina at Tamaklo. You know that case?
Oh yes, I reported on it in its early days in court in my previous employment. I was directly on the beats, and I recall the hesitation of the judge, the learned ladyship, Ifiasewa Asariboche, her hesitation to, initiate or accept the trial in absentia mode. Because I recall one of her statements in open court on one of the occasions that we needed to follow through, exhaust all the opportunities that the law allows for an accused person to physically be present in the court before we then begin to say that we are trying this person in absentia. The learned lady was more particular about the kind of precedent that case would probably set. Once you are dealing with government appointees and politicians and political appointees, you have to be careful that you don't open a window that would later be used to chastise political opponents.
Everybody will run through that window. And so her ladyship was more interested in ensuring that if the law says serve the accused, has the accused been served? We can't find the accused. We can't find the accused to bring back. Okay, are there other ways that you can serve the accused or means through which you can bring back the accused? Right.
Substituted service, have you used that? How about the people who stood surety? Have you dealt with that? Have you brought them to answer before the court? Where is your client, and why should the law not take its course against you for not being able to produce the person you stood surety for? So all of those processes, the court insisted that they be exhausted at the time. And up to the point that I followed the case, I think that they had been exhausted. The other thing we also know, I mean, from all the back and forth that has happened, is that immediately the judgment was passed, the office of the Attorney General, then Attorney General,
right,
Godfrey Dame, the Leonard Godfrey Dame, started the processes to have her brought back to serve the prison term.
10 years.
10 years.
You know, the interesting thing too is that she was convicted on 78 charges.
Oh, hers too.
Yes, hers too, 78.
Ken Ofori-Atta is also 70.
Ken Ofori-Atta is also 78. Yeah.
Too sure, 78.
Yes, it happened in April 2024 to 10 years imprisonment in hard labor. So for her, you can describe her as a what? Because she has been...
She's a convict.
So she's a convict, okay.
You hear the term convicted felon. So the court is done with her.
And then hers was, for those who may not be familiar with the case or may have forgotten a little, causing financial loss of 93 million cedis to the state. How much is Ken Ofori-Atta's? Okay, Sedina is 93 million cedis to the state. And then she's been in the United States. People are saying she's been hiding in the United States since 2021 after she refused to return to the country to face trial when she was granted leave by the court to travel for a medical checkup. And you know that, just like what you're talking about, it was just a few hours medical leave. But I mean, she took advantage of the medical leave and then
the window was tiny.
She took advantage of the medical leave and then she left. So 2 other people also involved. High Court was presided over by Justice Efiasawa Saribotwe. She's a very popular High Court judge.
No, she's been promoted.
Right.
In fact, I think at the time she was. No, she was High Court.
Yes, at the time she was a High Court judge.
Because the coup plotters case, she was one of the 3 justices who presided over, and she was a Court of Appeal judge with additional responsibility for the High Court, that particular case.
So 93 million cedis. Madam Tamaklo was sentenced to a total of 21 years imprisonment in hard labor for stealing 10 years. For stealing, okay, that's 10 years. Causing financial loss to the state, that's 3 years. Causing loss to public property, that's 2 years. Improper payment, 6 months. Unauthorized commitment resulting in a financial obligation for the government, 6 months. Money laundering, 3 years. And then contravention of the Public Procurement Act, 2 years. And then she was fined a total of 78,000 cedis for the offenses. And in default, she will serve another 6 years in jail. So these are... that's the detail of the case concerning Madam Sedina Tamaklo, who will be in court in the U.S. yesterday. But Ken Ofori-Atta is in court today. Sisters, okay, you can't go there before time, but of course, we have people there. If you could have gone there right now, I would have pushed you there so that...
Oh, all you have to do is just fly me.
Will you go and come back?
Why wouldn't I come back?
Okay, I just wanted to
get your response. I'm a Ghanaian.
So that
I was born a Ghanaian, I will die a Ghanaian. For me, there's nothing like not come back.
No. He's not Ghanaian. He's what? He's Togolese or something.
No, you see, I'm one of those Ghanaians who we've never been fascinated about running away. You see. I think at a point, every young man's decision or aspiration is to run away from the country. I mean, I've never been fascinated about that.
Okay.
I've always wanted to be in my country. I'm not saying I don't want to travel. I mean, I can travel and come. You see, when Auntie B and Amma Lawson decide that, oh, you're tired, you need to take a 1-week vacation, go somewhere and come. And they say, okay, maybe we have some deal with some hotel in the U.S. Would you want to go and spend 1 week? Why not? I will go and come. Okay. But to get a bag and baggage and say I am leaving the country, not thinking about coming back. No, I'm I'm not one of those young people.
Abiam, when you go, will you come?
So this World Cup, the World Cup.
Yes,
we want to go and watch and come back.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's a business deal, you go, you strike the deal, then you come back.
You know, when
home is always home for me.
When Ofori-Atta was going, he told OSP that he will come back. Same thing you are here, you are telling.
Oh, no. Me, well, we haven't had conversation, but all those who know me very well in our conversation. Crosby, you seem to have. I'm a Pan-Africanist.
Yes, you going. Well, okay.
I believe in I believe in Africa. I believe in Ghana. I don't think there's any reason why any Ghanaian would want to run away from Ghana. There shouldn't be.
Okay.
I mean, yes, there are opportunities elsewhere. You go, you tap into those opportunities, then you come back, or you bring them back.
People want to go, they'll come back maybe after like 20 years. That one they have gone and they have come. That one is
no. After 20 years, you haven't gone and come.
Yeah, what? Yeah, what?
After 20 years, who should be keeping home for you for 20 years?
The 1 week that you want to go, who should keep home for you?
It's called a vacation.
No, 20 years.
It's a vacation. I'm on, 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years.
Oh, no.
Rest. I'm on a rest for 20 years. Frederick will go and come back, but he will come back after like 60 years or something. You don't want to go anywhere. Will you even get?
You see, the place that you want to run to is looking like that because, well, also as a Pan-Africanist, this argument, I will be the same person to dispute it. People build that place that you are eager to go to. And the funny thing about all of this for me is that you put a Ghana man in Accra, they will say, don't park here, he will park there. They will say, don't throw rubbish here, he will throw it there. They will say, don't trade on this pavement, he will trade there. They will say, before you enter the bus, pay. You go and tell the conductor, wait there, say in the US, in the UK that you are so ambitious to go to, you can't do any of those things there. You see, and we've always had the Rwandan conversation. Even in Rwanda that is an African country, you can't litter anywhere. So you pick a Ghana man who is littering all over Accra, go and put him, the moment he steps down from the airport, for some funny reason, the things that he would have done in Accra, he no go do them for them. So also build your own. Let people also run to you.
The trotro drivers who have been charging extra in Accra,
they cannot do that. They will say, we are going to Medina. Then you say, no, you are going to 37. Because you don't want to charge a direct fare, because you want to do a Kalebule. We are back to those days. So if you know our history, those words, Kalebule, it came from somewhere. And those are the same things that we are doing today. You know that you are not supposed to, there was something called profiteering. In fact, there was even a law on profiteering.
So yesterday, the Transport Ministry met with these drivers, the driver unions, and then they proffered some solutions. In the coming days, it will kick effect. It will begin, and then we'll get to know the impact. Because as we speak, it has not happened. In fact, yesterday, a lot of people struggled to get vehicles. I passed through Circle in the evening. And so, you see, under the overhead, around the road leading to the Dome, the Kwabinya, the Achimota, we had like half of the road occupied by people. And then drivers will come and you know this driver, you know this mate. They load to Kwabinya.
It is your area, Trotro.
You know the number. You have used
but on this occasion, they tell you, no, we are not going there.
You have used it to stake Lotto before, but you tell you that they are going to Achimota.
If you sit.
If you sit. If you not sit, go. So a lot of people were there. Like half of the road was full of people, and it is not something that is also very safe. I think we should look at the staging system again, because in as much as we're waiting for vehicles, anything can happen, and based on just the sheer numbers at the station, well, by the side of the road, if any car loses brake, loses control, is running through hundreds of people, tens of people, and the news will be very, very different. So it is something that we should look at.
We'll declare National Day of Mourning.
And then but their lives will still be lost. So the Transport Ministry says it is working on it. GPRT was there, concerned drivers were there, GRT, CC were there, all the other transport unions, so they were there, and they shared various opinions, proffered solutions to the crisis, new buses. They are also asking that the municipal assemblies, the assembly people, they clear the streets so that the traffic situation will not be very bad. According to some of the drivers, the traffic is compounded by, some traders who are still selling in the middle of the road. So
Trotro drivers are blaming traders for traffic.
Yes. So
you want me to mention Zongo Junction again? The traffic there is caused by 100% by the Trotro drivers.
They are telling their side of the story. You can go and ask the traders. The traders will tell them it's their own.
Is it the pot calling the kettle black, or what is the expression?
They say that until something learns to talk, the story of the hunt, it will always favor the hunter. So because they are the ones they are asking, they'll tell you who is bothering them.
A Trotro driver will park right in the middle of the road to load, and is ready to insult any other person behind him who is honking at him.
Anyways, it's now time to pick a few calls. 0559242717 or 0556910154. Call us, let's hear from you what you think. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Nobel.
Oh, yes, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. And
Great.
you?
I'm fine, thank you. Talk to me.
Thank you very much. My name is Ajoy One from Dobe Kwabiga. Let me say good morning to my MC, Mr. Edmond Rambo, and my MP, Madam Elewe.